At exactly 14 hours 27 minutes on May 12, 2026, the deceptive tropical calm of the Strait of Ormuz was violently shattered by a perfectly orchestrated gray zone ambush by Iran. 2 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers of the United States Navy, the USS Truxtun and the USS Mason, were escorting a merchant convoy under Operation Freedom Sentinel when, without any radio warning, dozens of Boghammar fast attack boats and swarms of modified Shahed 136 drones surged from the Iranian coast. The sky filled in seconds with a lethal swarm of kamikaze drones. At the same time, United States radars detected thermal signatures of C-802 and NOR anti-ship missiles launched in saturation from coastal platforms near Bandar Abbas. Inside the Combat Information Center of the USS Truxtun, the Aegis Baseline 9 screens turned blood red. "Vampire, vampire, vampire!" shouted the tactical officer. The Link 16 tactical data network was saturated with hundreds of real threats in under 30 seconds. But Iran had no idea that the United States Navy had anticipated this exact move weeks in advance. Simultaneously, the destroyer activated its HELIOS high-energy laser system. In complete silence, invisible 60-kilowatt beams sliced through the humid, salt-laden air at the speed of light. One after another, the Shahed drones erupted into fireballs, their lithium batteries detonating in chain reactions and raining molten metal into the waters of the strait. The Iranian fast boats tried to close within 800 meters to use their 23mm cannons and portable missiles. It was a fatal mistake. From the sky, 2 MH-60R Seahawk helicopters from Squadron HSM-73 unleashed precise bursts from their M240 machine guns and laser-guided Hellfire missiles. The Boghammar boats turned into floating torches in less than 40 seconds. But the real nightmare for Iran was lurking underwater. Taking advantage of the acoustic chaos created by the boats and drones, an Iranian Ghadar-class nuclear attack submarine tried to approach periscope depth to launch torpedoes. What they didn't know was that the United States Navy's extra-large unmanned undersea vehicle, the Orca, had been silently trailing them for 72 hours deep inside the thermocline layered at exactly 14 hours 31 minutes. The Orca fired its directed acoustic pulse at 230 decibels. Inside the Ghadar submarine, hell broke loose. Sonar operators were slammed against the bulkheads, clutching their bleeding ears. The fire control systems were completely fried by overload. The Iranian submarine had no choice but to perform an emergency surface. Its black hull violently breached the surface, completely exposed and disarmed, right next to the smoldering wreckage of its own speedboats. Meanwhile, in the sky, 2 F-35C Lightning II stealth fighters from the USS Abraham Lincoln executed a supersonic low-level pass at Mach 1.2 and released a blinding cascade of thermal flares over the entire Iranian formation, a humiliating and crystal-clear message of absolute dominance. The United States Navy neutralized the entire threat, drones, fast boats, and submarine, without firing a single conventional explosive missile. Only directed energy lasers, precision acoustic pulses, and state-of-the-art electronic warfare. In the operations center of the USS Abraham Lincoln, more than 80 nautical miles away, officers watched in real time as every enemy system was rendered useless. The HELIOS laser not only destroyed the drones but also overloaded the electro-optical sensors of the remaining boats, leaving them blind and deaf in the middle of the attack. The Orca's acoustic pulse was so devastating that sonar logs showed the Ghadar submarine temporarily lost all maneuverability and communication with its base in Bandar Abbas, at 14 hours 35 minutes. Iranian commanders in their fortified coastal bunkers watched on their screens as their so-called accidental operation collapsed in real time. Their intelligence officers screamed contradictory orders while command and control systems were flooded with false data generated by American electronic warfare. In Tehran, the top leadership of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps fell into absolute panic upon receiving reports that not a single anti-ship missile had come within 5 miles of the American destroyers. The United States Navy didn't just defend the convoy. It once again demonstrated the absolute superiority of its integrated systems architecture. Aegis Baseline 9 fusing Link 16 data, HELIOS acting as an invisible shield, and the Orca operating as a silent predator in the depths. No explosive projectile was needed. American technology turned a massive attack into a total technological humiliation. Pentagon analysts are already reviewing the high-resolution footage captured by the Orca sensors and the F-35C fighters. Every second of the engagement is being recorded for future war simulations and to send a crystal-clear message to all potential adversaries. In the year 2026, accidental attacks against American interests in the Strait of Ormuz are no longer a viable option. Yet this silent victory leaves a disturbing question hanging in the air. Will Iran accept this public humiliation, or is it already preparing an asymmetric response? A massive cyber attack on American infrastructure? A new drone swarm launched from Iraq or Yemen? Or perhaps an attempt to close the strait with underwater mines next time? The tension in the Strait of Ormuz is not over. It has simply entered a new, even more dangerous and silent phase. While the wreckage of Iranian drones and boats still floats among fuel slicks, the now exposed and vulnerable Ghadir submarine is being circled by F-35C fighters like birds of prey. The United States Navy maintains a perfect fire control solution on every remaining target, ready to act in seconds if Tehran makes the mistake of escalating. This exact 18-minute confrontation was not a simple skirmish. It was a surgical demonstration of how the United States Navy dominates multi-domain warfare: air, surface, subsurface, and the electromagnetic spectrum. Iran bet on saturation tactics and gray zone operations, trusting in swarm density and surprise. The United States responded with millimeter precision and technology that still doesn't appear in public manuals. In the halls of the Pentagon and at US. What would you do if you were the Iranian commander watching your gray zone fleet destroyed in complete silence in under 18 minutes? Would you order more attacks or retreat immediately? Comment below Ormuz if you believe Iran will try to retaliate with a massive cyber attack or a new asymmetric strike in the coming weeks. This was not an isolated incident. It was the perfect demonstration that, even though the April 2026 ceasefire is technically still in effect, the Strait of Ormuz has become the most dangerous digital and electronic battlefield on the planet. Next time, the countdown could reach zero before the lasers can even fire. The United States Navy still rules the waves, for now. But in the depths of the Pacific and in the underground corridors of Tehran, the invisible war of drones, lasers, unmanned submarines, and cyber attacks continues to multiply at a terrifying speed. Do you think Iran will stay quiet after this public humiliation? Or is it already preparing its next shadow move while the world watches? Leave your tactical analysis in the comments. If you want more classified reports from the world's hottest hotspots in 2026, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. See you in the next battle briefing. Stay alert, warrior.